Let's do this, man. Yo, we are here. We are here, man. Reminisce Show, carrying traditions of Saint Kofa. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes we got to go back to collect what we may have forgotten, and that's exactly what we're doing with our show, man. The whole purpose of this energy, man, and whatnot. And today, man, we got special guests, man. Mizzo, man, King Mizzo, yo,
Yeah.
yo.
Oh, gee.
Yes, man. Yo, thank you for having me. We were just talking earlier too, but yo, thank you for having me, bro, because this is like more than just, first of all, what you guys are doing is dope. It's needed. A lot of people don't even look at the history books anymore. That category is almost gone. You know what I mean? So it's important to keep the category of history alive, you know, and what you guys are doing is great on that level. And yo, man, I'm excited, yo. Let's talk, bro. You guys are like both my brothers from time, you know?
No doubt, no doubt. And I mean, you know, it'll tie into what we were saying a little bit off camera, but I mean, it's something that the show is always about. I always believe, I'm like, yo, I mean, one of my first lessons I ever heard in hip hop is, if you don't know your past, you don't know your future, man. That's like, I heard that shit when I was like 1986, and it's like, yo, man, you hear that wisdom, and it's like, yo, that ties into Africa, that ties into your own neighborhood, that ties into yourself. It ties into so many things in life and family. So it's like, yo, man, we never lose track of the past, because like, yo, man, it's the present is great. It's all that, but yo, man, if you don't, yo, we got questions. There's so many things we're gonna go into. Yeah, man.
It's incredible, so deep, man, because, you know, a lot of people who's been following, you know, Stone from Africa movement knows that, like, you know, Mizery was very integral. You know, a lot of the foundational things, man, that we were building, and a lot of the ideas that we had about, like, you know, improving the school system, the curriculum, you know, like keeping the consciousness within hip hop, you know, being our authentic selves, like actually caring, like not just like getting lost in translation. You know, we really want to be rooted in community. And, you know, so Mizery, man, is, you know, definitely foundations. And I'm so glad to have him here to share some of those original stories, man, to go back. But like Unknown Mizery, man, like goes back even before I met him. You know what I mean? Like I remember, like I was doing some stuff, like, you know, some research, not research, but going back in the archives and, you know, bumping Trap Doors beat. And, you know, I want to spend some time bumping Trap Door, because like I put on my IG and I'm just like, yo, man, this track is just so hard. I feel like breaking stuff in my house right now. Like, the bars, everything, the energy, because I know, like I know where you're coming from at that stage, because we've had many conversations about it in the past, but a lot of people don't. You know, and I remember seeing you and Decisive performing that song at Comfort Zone years. This is when I was just getting my feet wet in rapping and whatnot. And I remember seeing that, and I remember being in high school at Oakwood.
During the blackout? That's the blackout one?
The blackout one, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, it was. You know what? That was my first hip hop show, actually. That was the Mathematic and all them. You know what I mean? Bahamadia, like crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So seeing all of that energy, you know what I mean? I remember, like, you were already like an underground legend, you know, and this is a time before social media, you know, like where there was just college radio and just like word of mouth. Like if you were in the scene, you're in the scene. If you weren't, then you wouldn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like
you had to be there.
It was a culture.
It was the culture. And I remember you coming out to the school handing out flyers and whatnot. And then, you know what I mean? And then, you know, at some point we connected, you know, but we'll get into that moment, how we connected. But take us back to, like, you know, the times of being in Toronto, you know, inner city, Keele and Lawrence area, the community, you know, James Strip, the whole West End, like places that brought up, like, you know, like Juggernaut, aka Frankie Payne and whatnot. And like talk about like your origins in hip hop music.
Yo. Okay, I'll keep it to that point because there's so much.
I know. Yes.
So that point right there, my origins in hip hop music from my ends, how I grew up. So I'm East Indian. Let's start there. That's how I have to explain hip hop. Hip hop is Black culture, right? I'm East Indian. But before September 11th, I've never felt East Indian, man. Actually, let me bring that back. Until curry was okay, the smell of curry was okay, like in grade 9. You know what I mean? I used to hide my lunch or throw it away on the way to school.
Whoa.
But I'd listen to different artists, you know, like that was even grade 7, grade 8. And now thinking like all the artists that are coming out at those times, like grade 7 was like Snoop Dogg. You know, but the thing is this, when I'm watching shit on TV and I'm growing up in my community, when I'm walking down the street, honestly, I never felt safe around the police. They would pull me over. I would feel in my mind, honestly, like I have to admit it, like when I was younger, I felt I was having a black experience because I didn't understand anything else, man.
Right.
The Indian experience that I had was my parents telling me not to go out, or my dad going downstairs and looking for me, and all the man on the block hiding me so my dad doesn't see me. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
that's my Indian growing up perspective. But other than that, when it comes to my roots of hip hop, so that's where it came from. So I'm out there. I'm rambling right now a little bit, man.
No,
you brought me back.
Yo, it's all good. Tell your story.
Context. We need this. Give it to us, mate.
That's the context, exactly.
Yeah.
So now how? So that's the context. Just keep that in mind when I explain the story, you know? So now, boom, I'm growing up. Was in Rexdale for a few years, moved by, I remember being in Rexdale, like me and my cousin are playing kids, man. And some dude comes up and calls us the N-word, and I'm brown. So this is what I'm saying. These are a lot of different moments when I got older you think about, man. And it's like, man, I just remember moving out of that. Let me stick to hip hop, man. I'm getting emotional, bro. You guys got me hyped up. I did blaze a little thing before this, so I can't lie. Yo, I don't blaze too much nowadays, you know?
Yo,
but,
that's smart.
But yo, hip hop, man, I was like making music, boom, boom, boom. I just loved music, man. I didn't know what to do. I used to have to hide, like being Indian again. I used to have to go to the washroom, turn the water on, and then think of some rhymes in my head.
Wow.
Because I couldn't make hip hop music. Like, what are you doing, kid? Yo, you're in Keelan Lawrence. You're trying to make rap music. Yo, bro, my parents are like, yo, my dad, he's like, yo, we came out here so you could go become a doctor. Like, yo, do your thing. Stay in your lane. You know what I mean? And guess what? As I got older, I understand. If I was visualized differently, that's a very privileged lane. To be a doctor or an engineer or a successful businessman. There's nothing funny about owning all the corner stores.
Yeah.
That's successful.
That's power. That's
right? So, but as a kid, man, my identity was so confused, bro. It's like, honestly, man, I was just a confused kid, man. You know, and like I always wanted to like fit in with people, you know. I wanted people to like me, you know what I mean? Like I remember growing up like feeling like no one on the billboard represented me, you know. It was black or white, you know, it was good or bad, you know. So at that moment, I'm like, yo, fuck this shit. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to all this shit in grade 4. My first experience rapping was in grade 4. There was this girl named Melanie. And me and my boy Ali, who was my neighbor, he lived upstairs at Keelan Lawrence. Yo, he liked this girl, I liked this girl. We both wrote a battle rap against each other to see who would win. Yo, I lost. Still, I can't lie. I lost. You know what I mean? Yo, that was my first like feeling of humility. I felt it, you know. But real music, man. I was in grade 9, just roaming around, bro. When I got to grade 9, I was listening to Wu-Tang, Sons of Man. Sons of Man brought knowledge of self to me. Like the lyrics from Sons of Man made me feel empowered to like intelligence, you know, and like to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was Sons of Man. It's a school, bro. That's a school of thought. Like you grew up listening to Sons of Man, you're in a school of thought right there.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. Born 120, maybe not born 120, but maybe 120 just through hip hop. You know, through the shit I learned and actually listened to. You know, maybe the Sons, you know, maybe Prodigal Son was born king to me. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
So, and it's like because I really took it in. It wasn't just music. I took it in. I felt it. It was emotional to me. I always felt passionate since I was young, man. Like now that I'm older and I could study like my mental health, I can see how like depression and all that was depression, but I never looked at it that way as a kid. So I'd handle it in different ways, feeling like I don't belong anywhere. You know what I mean? Music was my favorite recluse, especially when it came to listening to Sons of Man and shit like that.
Right.
And yo, that was it, bro. That was it, man. I was in grade 9. That's where I met Decisive. You know what I mean? That's where I met CON, which is big shout out, Big Loots and Shakes. You know what I mean? And that was our squad back then. We were the Soldiers of Fortune. The fact is, I was still a nerd and I just wanted to get into Soldiers of Fortune, bro. You know what I mean? I had to like, I couldn't be myself. And that's why years later I became myself by any means. You know, I took it to the other extreme side, but I couldn't be myself. I had to fit in, you know? So like, I tried to fit in, boom. But me and Decisive really, we got it still. He understood me. I know it, you know? This guy brought me.
When did you write your first, when did you record your first song?
Yeah. You guys gotta guide me, dog. I'm getting emotional right now.
Yeah. No worries, man.
My first.
I also want this history out because how many times have you told this story? Not many people care. We care, and we want this. I want to know this about you, so I love to hear this. But yeah,
thank you, brother.
You know, we'll help. You know, yeah. So like, at this, when did you actually be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down, write my first verse, and then like record it?
Yo, with me. CON. So me, Shakespeare, Ludacris, brother named Juice. He dropped some shit earlier too, a few years ago. I forgot what he changed his name to, but I know him as Juice. Can't remember it now. And Decisive.
Rochester? You mean that dude?
Nah, not that dude.
Different. Okay.
My brother from Malvern, man. Fuck, I'll remember the name and I'll tell you still. But he used to roll with CON in them. But yo, those guys, like, we were staying at my house, my apartment building, 1016, Keelan Lawrence, 1440. Yo, no one was home. Yo, we're kids, you know what I mean? Kids acting hard. So imagine we're throwing, how hard were we, dog? We were going to the cupboard, stealing my mom's like hard-earned money and getting like spaghetti or whatever it was, cans, and throwing it onto cars off the balcony. You know what I mean? And then we'd go retrieve it. That was part of our thing. And then we started writing songs, dog. Like that night. We did that shit. And then after that, we're like, yeah, let's get on this mic, dog. And we started writing some shit. Honestly, children figuring it out, which is beautiful, because I never reminisced it like that. And that's why I think I'm taking a little while to explain it.
Yeah, no worries.
Because it's like, I can see it. You know what I mean? I can see it. Like, I could see Billy, Shakespeare going down, retrieving that shit. Getting the cat is like, oh, he retrieved it. Oh, he didn't get booked, yo. Like, smash the car, bro.
Right.
Like, what kind of, like, weird shit.
Bored, yo.
Yeah, we're kids, man. You know? And then that song we went and recorded with Brent. If you know a company called Just Entertainment.
Oh, Brent.
Yeah, that's where I met Double Soul. You know what I mean? That's where I got involved with what's that guy? He played
Dean and Julian.
Who?
No, Dean.
Yeah.
Dean and Julian from Double Soul. Yeah.
Good brothers, man. Good hearts, man. You know, I feel like their tribe reminds me of your tribe, brother. Mindbender.
Yo,
I feel like you guys are like the
those guys are extended family forever to me. Yo, straight up. And one of them's in Jamaica right now. Anyway.
Yeah, living out there. Yeah. But yo, so that's the song we first recorded, and it was Commander, Verbal Bloodhound, check on the compound. Nah, I can't do it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's still enough. That's enough. What was it called? What was the name of the song? Solitary
Confinement.
Okay. And what year did you record that?
That was like grade 9, man. Grade 9. So like, to really put it out there, and I don't care, youngins. I'm coming as King Mizzle right now. We can get it out of Mike. But that was like 1993.
Oh, it's wonderful, yo, man. All of us look like we're fucking 25 right now. And like, yo, like,
you know what I'm saying?
And the other thing is, it's just two levels in hip hop. You're either alive or you're RIP, sadly. So it's like we still alive. Like, we young, we good. You still got your voice. You got a mic behind you. It's all good, man. Like,
Yeah, true.
And I had a thought that I was like, yo, I really appreciate what you're talking about, because like I came up in Edmonton and I had like Indian, white dudes, Asian dudes around me, like, and my black self, my black Jamaican family and everything. But I'm like, yo, you're talking India, and India is not Africa, but we are all in North America. And like, you look way more like us than not like us. You look like our brothers. You look like some ignorant motherfucker doesn't see you as an Indian. They're like, oh, you're just some black dude that I can't really identify, so you're just another black dude. So like your experience, like I appreciate you talking about how you didn't feel a certain connection, but it's like you understood we're all oppressed, and in that sense we are all brothers, which is why we linked up anyway.
True.
It really just speaks to like what hip hop culture is. It does give people that place to find their identity and find their space and to really explore that. because like everything you mentioned, it was really just this exploration of really trying to discover who you were in this like world that's just like, you know, you're not really aligned with, you know what I mean? But just to keep things moving, man. Like I want to play a quick snippet of Trap Doors, though, man. You got to tell me how this song came about, though, because this is the song that like really underground Toronto hip hop classic. Those who know, you know what I'm saying?
Psychological controlling, oxygen stolen, I'm swollen, radar controlling, prisoner of war holding, treacherous, torturing, torching, fort sidewalk, swinging swords, forfeit a war, lot lines without function, killing, moments conjunction, serving serpent, snakeskin boots, mass production, cats control, reality strikes, fatality, I'm a child of the night, with plots of humanity, on the search for sanity, my brain downloaded sites, bloodstain, mark my domain, with body remain like a propane from the west side, that's no God, slaughter sergeants, in hideouts, still from the inside, I heal snake bite. Spike walls closing in, the trap doors opening. Trust them, scoping him, bust gas pipes, toxic, launching rockets. Drain plug sockets, vest pocket, twisted metal, lifted on and pushing the pedal.
Yes.
Man, yo, you do bring me back.
I bet Sons of Man would be fans of this shit. And after you talk about the recording of this, please, I just want to make sure I don't forget this question. I want to know where you got the name Unknown Mizery. Well, let's talk about that song.
All right. And you said Sons of Man, yo, shout out Prodigal Son. You know what I mean? That's that brother has been like that brother's my brother. You know what I mean? So that's why the blessing is full circle right there.
Love that.
But that song is decisive, bro. It was after school one day, I don't know, grade 9 or 10, because I left memo. I got kicked out of memo at grade 10, I think, or 11. And then your memorial, man, Kill Egginson. And this guy's like, Miz or Sour. Back then they called me Sour.
Right.
So that's how I get to the name after this, because they called me Sour. And he's like, come through and drop come to my house after, man. We're going to a studio. Like, for real? Because we only went once in my life. I was like mad excited, I won't lie. And that was like a secret, I can tell. He didn't tell me he didn't say don't tell. Decisive. He didn't tell me don't tell no one. But the way he told me, I knew I'm not supposed to tell no one, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right, boom. I go to his house after school. He's like, I forgot the time, but it felt like something like, you got 45 minutes. Here's these 2 beats, start writing. I'm like, what do I write? Write 2 verses. He plays me Childhood's End, the beat.
Oh, I forgot about that song.
So I write 2 8 bars. Because you forgot, that doesn't seem like my first song. But like Trapdoors is my first solo song. Yeah. That's why probably, But he's like, this is what the song's about, write it. This is the chorus. I'm like, all right. I won't lie. I was like, this is a weird chorus, bro. Like I told him too. I'm like, bro, you're just talking. Like, I don't know, man, And I wrote the thing anyways. I never wrote rhymes that fast in my life. But that's how I write. Or that's how I used to write, after that for a long time. I still can, but I don't like to,
Right.
And it's like, I'm writing. We go to the lab in like 30, 45 minutes. It's DJ Serious's spot. The same studio he had for years, right by college there, Go to the house, I won't lie, dog. Serious was mad love, man. And that was another crazy moment in life, man. That could have been handled differently, man. But big up DJ Serious, man. 100%, man. Dope DJ. Done a lot of dope work, you know what I mean, in the city. And especially for that time. So I go to the place, I record the song Childhood's End. I don't know what's happening, man. I'm just a kid, bro, from Kill and Lawrence. I don't know where this place had brought me. I'm in a studio. Cool. I wanted to do this. Fun. Let's do it. Then this guy, as soon as I come out the booth, he's like, Serious. He's like, drop me. He's like, man, pick one of these beats, man. Write a song to it. I'm like, yeah. He plays a bunch of beats. I'm like, that one. I got Trapdoors.
Right.
Oh, boom. I got Trapdoors. I'm like, I need to write to this at home, though. Because I'm like, I wasn't confident like that. Couldn't do that. Right. It was my first time. And he's like, yeah, for sure. He didn't expect me to write it there, So I go home. The thing is, that's big up Decisive forever and Serious forever. Because he gave me the beat and Decisive gave me the real push. Because now that I'm thinking about it, big up forever. I never even thought of it till now. And then This guy's just like, yo, go write it. I write it. I go back. But before I go back, I record it on my just like my boombox. You know how we used to talk about. We put boombox beside boombox. Play the beat in one and press record on the other, and make sure we could make a song. Like that was our ghetto studio. I can explain that later. But it's like, or there's a video for it on SFA channel. But yo, we talk about. Basically, we record that song, but before I go, I record it on the boombox thing, and then I was heavy into Metal Gear Solid, yo. I used to play that at night with the lights off. It would like trip me out as a kid, I remember. And like, especially when I'm a young kid, I'm like, I just blaze a little thing, and I'm like, oh, the lights are off. There's like all these people coming after me in this game, and that game was advanced for back then still. I'm playing that game, and I'm hearing all these sound effects. I'm like, bro, I wrote that song about Metal Gear Solid as an inspiration. Facts. Right. That was the inspiration for that song, a video game. Metal Gear Solid. It's not even that special. I wish it was. Wish I could say something else about it, But then, yeah, went, recorded that song, and that was it, bro. Like, Sirius started putting me on shows. I met Just Cuz. You know what I mean? Was it Just Cuz?
Just Entertainment?
No. Just Entertainment was Brent, the manager, but then... they managed me for a minute, bro. My brain.
Just cause.
Rasta brother. He moved to Korea not too long ago.
Just cause. I'm vaguely familiar. I can't remember.
Again, that's another one, man. Those brothers like put me on a bunch of shows, boom, boom, boom. But it was all because of that Trapdoors. And real talk, that shit like got put on through Urbnet. Not through Urbnet, man. Through what was it from? Who dropped that shit again? You remember?
Wasn't it
Groove Attack?
Groove Attack. Okay, right.
Groove Attack. Yeah. Groove Attack dropped that shit, and it was like distributed worldwide. I didn't even know what was happening. I was a little kid. That's where that misunderstanding happened, man. Bro, I was just a kid on a bike, chopping dime bags and dropping ciphers wherever I could. You know what I mean? And like saying quotes from whoever I know quotes from, and then boom, all of a sudden I found this shit's like touring Canada. This single, with Decisive on it. I think was Nishrox on that too. And then, that was the moment. So I didn't understand. They couldn't get at me. So DJ Sirius basically had no way to contact me. Internet wasn't like how it is now. Right. He didn't have my number. He didn't know how to get at me. I was just on road, not giving a fuck about anything. And then, boom. So big up, man. Big up, man. That's my story for Trapdoors, bro.
But before we get into the name Unknown Mizery, Bender, I don't know if you want to get into the chat, man, because I seen some comments and people jumping in. We got some comments from YouTube, on Twitch, Facebook. I don't know if you want to go back.
Oh, okay. All over. Yo, I mad love to Kwame. Definitely, you're real about this. Is an epic moment, and thanks Maria, Righteous, Redkin, and yeah. HNTR HunterNet, yo, thanks. He says real OGs. Right. That cat knows. And just Kwame, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's Colleen. There's just people out here that are just repping and watching and just showing.
Thank you, man. Honestly, real talk, thank you, bro. Because that's the hardest thing to get as an artist, you know what I mean? And it's like no matter how much in life I like whatever I do, I've like realized very recently, like we don't do one thing. We live, and when we live, we do things. This is what we do. Many things, but I'm an artist, dude. And like that love, any type of little love is like beautiful, man. And it's like, I appreciate everyone watching still.
I heard something really ill these days. It said that the new economy is attention.
Oh,
right.
It's like, right now, it's like, it don't even like, it's like, we are just fighting for people's attention. Like,
absolutely.
And that's money, that's power, that's like
definitely.
So like, yeah.
But let's get into the name Unknown Mizery, yo.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
I wanted to be a superhero, man. I wanted a superhero name.
All right.
My rap name was just Sour. People on road call me Sour. The first 4 letters of my name are SOUR. A teacher, I didn't even get that in no gangster way. I got that name because my home ec teacher, where I was really good at eating food that people cooked, or like making a soccer ball that my mom helped me make. You know what I mean? I got the award for that class, and she called me sour because from the beginning of class, she put a stapler over the AV of my name. That was her excuse. And she said that. Now that I'm older, I'm like, yo, that's some foo-foo whack shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah. But yo, Unknown Mizery, I wanted to be a superhero, bro. Because after that, my name was Instinct for maybe, I don't know, not too long, man. Maybe like a week. Then it was Rock Marciano. Actually, my name was Rock Marciano for like maybe a few weeks. Then my name was Unknown Mizery because his brother named Bean. Back in the day, I used to roll with Bean Heavy. And like my brother Bean, he just came to my house one day. I'm like, yo, bro, I need a new rap name. I'm like, this was after I was like ready to go. Like they were ready to release Childhood's End, ready to release Trapdoors, and I need a rap name. I'm like, no, I'm not happy with none of these. I'm like, I want to be a superhero. So he gave me the name. I'm like, I need a first and last name. That's what I need. And he's like, you're Unknown Mizery. I'm like, boom. But then I had to change that years later because of the energy attached to it. But that's probably a later chapter of this audio book.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much. Yo. So Logik, do you what next questions in the evolution? Because you're doing so many things, yo. Like, and one definitely thing I wanted to drop about the time and saying fuck age don't matter. We're hip hop. Yeah. Like, yo, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon, yo. That's a Michael Jackson statement. And it's like, yo, I love that statement. Like, this is long-term vision. This is 7 generations kind of thinking and artistry. So I mean, fuck being hot for one summer or 1 week. There, there's other whack, well, not even whack, but other less important MCs who had one summer in Toronto and then they just disappeared forever.
Bro, if you love the flowers, man, you water it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna water it.
No doubt. You know I mean? Yeah.
So, but like Miz, man, do you remember like how we connected?
Yo, I just spoke to Calculus the other day on the phone.
Calculus.
Yo, literally, B. Me and my girl just went on on a 30-day camping trip, for the mind, body, and soul. Okay. And we just came back a few days ago, and the day before leaving, I was on the phone with Calculus.
Come on,
Reminisce.
Man. Yeah. Shout out.
Both your names came up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Had a long talk, man. I was on a beach in Kelowna, just talking to him for half an hour.
Shout out BC, yo.
Yeah, man. But that's how we met, bro. If I'm correct.
Indeed, if I'm correct, through Calculus. Calculus at the time was just one of those guys who was like not to make comparison, but he was kind of like the RZA, you know what I mean? Like he just knew how to connect and intersect everybody. He just had a way of getting into spaces and getting people on board with his ideas. Like he was just really good at that. And I remember it was summer school at Central Tech, and he was like, yo, you never believe who I got in contact with. Mizery. I was like, no,
no, hold on, time out. I know for sure he whispered it like that too. Yo, okay.
It was a secret. I was like, yo, and I can't remember if we went to a studio or we met in a park, but it was something, but it was low key. I was just like, no, this is sick. I thought we were going to get signed. Because at the time, you were you know what I mean? You were making your way throughout the underground scene, established. Everybody knew who you were. If you're into Toronto hip hop, your name is top tier, up there. So from there, we connected. And, I remember in the beginning, we're kind of starstruck. We're just whoa, it's Mizery. And you're just mad chill. And then after a while, I was just yo, it's my brethren now. You know what I mean? I was yo, this guy's cool, and you were just always open, just willing to do songs and whatever. And I was just yo, I'm actually on a song with this guy. This is crazy. You know what I mean? And that just kind of sparked my self-esteem as an artist, as an MC, to be yo, this is real. We can really do this. Because from that moment on, we were just youngins just trying to do the thing. But then to align with an artist who was somewhat established that has music on.
Psychologically, it looks different. Yeah, psychologically, it's but then years later we get older and it's of course, it's all the same. You go somewhere and it's you meet so and so and they're a big name, and it's all right, we're in the same place though. We're staying in the same spot right now. Yo, it's I don't know,
Absolutely.
So yo, bro, I remember that stuff. Yo, I was selling CDs on the street.
We need to talk about that.
I was by Young and Dundas selling CDs.
Okay.
And this is when Young and Dundas still had, all the men them still chilling, like
right
along the corridor of Young and Dundas, sitting on the ledge.
The escalator that goes up and then just like a roundabout.
That's it. Everyone's chilling. That's where I met Buck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm chilling with I'm there. I don't know any of these men. I just went out there, man. I'm like, yo, I need to make some money. I'm broke. I need to make some money. And when we open up how we're talking about selling CDs,
yes,
we need to make that a next segment because Mindbender taught me how. And that's the only reason I sell CDs. Facts, bro. I have a story I tell people all the time with your name about it. I just realized, but I do.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna get into it, man.
Yeah, we have to get into that. But yo, with this guy selling CDs, I was just selling CDs, and I had a few weeks left where I had to finish my community service hours, and I didn't do any hour.
Yeah.
That brings me to For Unity because I go to this guy's area. I see calculus.
Yep.
He's just very calm. Same thing. He was in one of his calculus moods where he's like, he doesn't want to look at people too much, but when he talks to him calmly,
Yeah.
And I go up to him, like I start talking to him, show him love, and he just like showing me. He's like, "Yo, you're Unknown Mizery," and I caught that. I remember I'm like, "Yeah," and because I never understood, and I still don't till this day, and I don't think I ever will. And I'm happy with that, and it makes my life easier. But this guy just like. So he got hyped, man. And then I told him, automatically my spirit's like, I gotta tell him. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm out here. I'm selling CDs. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to make some money. I don't know what for, but I have community service hours. I told him about it somehow.
Yeah.
And he's like, automatically, like, I work at For Unity.
Right.
He brought me to Parkdale, the community center in Parkdale.
Yeah.
And boom, he got me my hours. But while he got me my hours, I met you.
Yeah.
And I met the rest of Poor Man Militia.
Indeed.
We ciphered in the park the day after, right behind the
I remember, yes. Because that's why I said I was like, we were in a park or something like that. But
we just drinking sherries and doing something, and I'm like, yo, these are the man them still. And bro, I was honestly I've always been running from things because I don't like when I see like too much. Like even growing up, man, your friends kill your friends, and it's like, I don't want to be around that, man. I don't want to be around that. You're not my friend right now, So I gotta just keep moving, bro. And also, if there's time, we could touch on mental health and reality, where it's like an understanding of it, where it's like there's a lot of situations in that time that I dealt with, really toxically.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
These are the things, man. But that's how I met you, bro. I met you through calculus.
Now, you mentioned Poor Man Militia, but before Poor Man Militia, because Poor Man Militia came a little bit later, like slightly later, but there was Armada, which was like original, and this was basically because what like I mentioned, like calculus, was this like guy who just brought everybody together, and we were all like, because at the time I was with Fatal Phonetics, shout out, shout out Gans, Elliot, Tongi, Articulate, all those mans, and then there was like Street Congress, which was like Govs and Kayatni and a whole bunch of other folk like Mega and whatnot, and then we kind of all like just came together, and like that was all because of calculus. Like he really like brought us all together.
He brought all of us together.
He did. And then the name Armada came up because we just needed some kind of collective name, and that's really what it was. It was just like this like overarching like branch for like all these individual like crews that were under that branch.
Yeah.
Fleets. Exactly, fleets. And then I think we did like maybe like one show or two shows or something like that, and then at some point. No, I know what it was. It was so speaking of For Unity and Parkdale, they put on like the hype seminar, which I always call as like the original manifesto. Everybody sees manifesto right now, and I see like the hype seminar helping people sell as the first kind of like installment of that, where it gave like artists and industry people to kind of like come together, learn from workshops, and then perform a showcase, which is with more established artists and then up and coming artists. And we performed there. We had like this whole collective like set or whatever, and then we connected with Moses and those men, and those men connect us to archaeologists. So it was that defining moment, and then we started connecting with archaeologists, and then from there,
at a freestyle. Do you remember? Were you there? It was the house by like, it was a house beside a park by Dover Court or somewhere.
Oh yes, I do.
And we
remember.
were ciphering. Mackenzie lived there.
Yes,
He played us a beat tape or CD. I don't know, whatever it was.
Yes.
And it was like 30 seconds of beats, and we freestyled.
Yes.
For hours.
We killed it, man.
Yo.
We're going off. Yeah.
Yo, thank you.
And that kind of like sparked, like, like kind of solidified that, like, okay, this is a thing. You know what I mean? We went from just kind of like just hanging out, kind of like not really having a direction, to like now we have like a direction. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Yo, Kwame here has an amazing question. Shout out to the one who Trev's. Actually, right before we get into Kwame, it's a very good question. Trey Water has a shout out. And the one who Trev says, Logik and Miz were two of the first people I met the first time I visited Toronto in 2003. Bought all their CDs and stuff from Cryogenics and Kanon. And he says, I want to hear about It Will Fall.
It Will Fall? Oh, man, we'll get into that. Shout out Trevor, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm giving you, hold on. I'm going to give you, I have new music, bro. And I love it. I'm going to give you everything for free. I don't care. Trev, holler at me.
Yes. Yeah. But I just want to make sure that we talk to Kwame's question because it's great. He says, does Miz have a Planet Mars story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, your choice of whatever you want to talk about.
Well, all right, I can give the history of Planet Mars, and then we'll get into It Will Fall after that. But go ahead.
Okay, I can give a Planet Mars story right away. It's like one of those ones where I don't even have to think about it.
But hold on, but for those who don't know, like, what is Planet Mars?
Planet Mars is almost like the Gypsy Co-op with Mindbender, but a different generation of it.
Yeah, but yes, you're right. But Planet Mars came first.
No, I'm still saying different generation of it.
True.
Right? So Planet Mars is the original lyricist lounge of Canada. That's what I feel. I don't know about Canada, Toronto, but but definitely it's like an OG stamp. This is Planet Mars. When no one's gonna play hip hop, they will in a laneway in Kensington Market. You might have to crawl through a window to even get into it. You feel me? But they're gonna have bleachers in there. They're gonna have seats in there, if I remember correctly. It's gonna be so packed every weekend. Where if you're blazing a bogey, which is so dangerous, when I think about it now, in that place,
it was so smoky.
It's so smoky. You're gonna have to wall out like this. Cause it's that packed, bro. It was where if you want to meet anybody in the Toronto hip hop scene, you would go there, and guess what it was? It was love. There's moments of situations, there's moments of life, ego, different things happen. But that place had an essence of culture, man. I remember growing up, man. To me, it was such a blessing that I can go to that place. Decisive almost lost his name. This is my story at Planet Mars. All right. So Planet Mars, there's shows. Soldiers of Fortune. We're performing. Boom, easy. While we're performing, we hear we watch the video later on, and somebody in the crowd is talking when Decisive comes on. Someone in the crowd is saying, "The real Decisive's right here." Fuck, what's that Whitby rap group? Collective. They had Golden and Skeletor from Whitby back in the day. Bomb Shelter.
Bomb Shelter. Oh, Bomb Shelter.
So that was Bomb Shelter.
It was Shiloh.
It was Shiloh. So Bomb Shelter was there, and Shiloh. No, someone in Bomb Shelter is like, the real Decisives right here. Because they were a big clique, and we were a big clique. Right? Yeah. So while we were on stage, they were talking over our thing. It was disrespectful, 20 years later, I don't give a fuck, man. Big up Bomb Shelter, dope as hell. And it's like, I go and I see, you never know how people might be. You gotta make it clear, man. Big up Bomb Shelter.
Yeah, no, they're incredibly talented. But they were on their own shit, and they were very, very combative at the time. They were going against everybody because they were from, they were from like Par Whitby, so they were like people didn't know their shit.
Culture, B. They were dope. And it was nice, man.
This is a real day. So there was a battle with the Decisive over.
Okay, so after that day, we were watching the video at my house or Shakespeare's house or Decisive's house. One of us three, and then boom, we're like, yo, what? Yo, rewind that. We listened to it, rewind it. Yo, man's talking about the real Decisive's right here. Now, we were looking for some hype too. So it's not a big deal. But the Decisive's like, yo, I'm going to battle him for my name. Yo, boom. He battled him for his name, in Planet Mars.
Okay.
Later, it was a thing. It was on the university radio stations. It was a thing.
Whew.
And it was like that was a story in the culture at that time. And yo, he ended up battling him for his name. He won.
Who judged?
Oh no, hold on. It wasn't the real Decisive. His name was, oh my god. Sorry, Decisive's name was Malicious.
Oh,
okay.
The real Malicious is right here. You know how Decisive got his name?
Okay, talk to things.
This battle, when he went and he won and he got the name Malicious because he won the battle, he's like, well, guess what? He can't keep that name, and my new name's Decisive, bro.
Oh,
yeah. That's how he got his name, bro. That's like actually a real Canadian history.
That is wow.
Decisive. Wow. Where's my verse? I'm a joke.
Yeah,
Mars stories, man. Yo, speaking of just like Planet Mars and Toronto venues, because like in Toronto, like a lot of these venues don't even exist anymore.
Yeah,
I want to shout out Dre, man. AKA Fam TV and whatnot. He was asking about Beat Junkies. Remember Beat Junkies? Junkies.
Beat Junkies was a fucking like that was like Beat Junkies. Remember we had a weekly thing, dog?
Yeah.
It was like Sunday and Saturday there was a different venue that had something down for the culture, bro. Beat Junkies is also one of the first, man. What, Beat Junkies? Then we had the Chaos thing. Well, Beat Junkies, I remember for sure. I don't know if how more I should break it down.
What it was Alto Basso on Mondays.
They had that years later again.
Tuesdays was NASA, over on Queen beside. Remember NASA, that little like,
of course, bro,
or whatever,
little hole in the wall, man.
Wednesdays, I can't remember what was on Wednesdays.
I think that's when we went to college. I think that's when we were on College Street on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
College, yeah.
And then Thursdays was Gypsy Co-op, like the Hooch.
Yeah,
that's Mindbender.
And I feel like Fridays was Beat Junkies. No, Fridays or Saturdays or something like that.
Fridays or Saturdays. Beat Junkies is a big deal still.
Yeah. Because it was like a club, but like hip hop.
You go to mingle, that's where you go to mingle.
Yeah.
That's where me and you would go outside and be like this. You already know the truth. If I may.
Of course, man. Of course,
right.
Man.
Okay, bro, I remember stories of like me and especially me and Logic's dog. Out of everyone, because even when no one was about it, me and him were about it at the end of the day.
Come on,
it's
man.
like no matter what. And it was like, we'd get there and we'd go to the liquor store. We would get some bubbly called Bambino. Oh, we chug the back or the cherry and do this to our faces. Industry face.
Right?
Now we're going into the industry venue, infiltrating the industry. Infiltrating through the negativity of it to find the positivity of it.
Right.
And there is, because there's such a big positive industry. And it's like as kids, it was like fighting like, these guys are all one with evil. And then you realize that it's not, man. You just got to maneuver through the BS and you're going to find that community there, And it was like, I remember Beat Junkies and all of those nights, bro. That was like one of our rituals still.
Yeah. Because those people, the industry is exploiting the community, because that's one of the ill things that Maestro I love when Maestro would say this. He's like, Toronto, we didn't really have an industry, but we had a community.
Right.
He was like, man, he's like, we didn't, a lot of people didn't make money out of it. But he's like, at all points in time, every year something that ill was happening in New York, we had something ill happening here. From 83 to 86, 88, 92, pick a year. Like, we always had something ill.
Man, our graffiti expo, one of the illest, man.
No doubt. We had so many of it, and I love like when you talk about hype being the precursor to manifesto and style and progress and like elemental and like all the various, I was when we, they were talking about Aaliyah right now and Aaliyah's music, and I was like, I remember when they announced Aaliyah's death, I was at the CNE. There was a concert that was Mos Def and Jill Scott. Remember at the end of the year, every year there was a CNE concert? So I was at the Mos Def concert when they announced Aaliyah dying. I was like, what the fuck? And like all these like historic traditional venues and festivals, and it's like
the culture was different, brother. They're basically like, this is what makes me sad about it, And it's like the culture, like the culture and the music is very important. Like, I didn't have to listen to the older music from the past generation, but I needed to know about it.
Right.
Acknowledge it. Understand it was part of the road. Or else if I ever look back, I'm gonna get lost. You know? And everyone's gonna have to eventually look back. You know?
Yeah. Like I remember when I was like 14, I'm like, yo, hip hop is everything. Fuck all other genres. And I'm not listening to rock or jazz. And then one day somebody puts on Bob James. I'm like, how do you love hip hop and not love Bob James Nautilus that fucking like 19 rappers have sampled? And then you hear the original Ghostface, and then you hear original, and like, yo, I'm not gonna love jazz and rock. This is where it came from. What the fuck? Like, how are you not gonna love Parliament Funkadelic? You're like, yo, that's what made Snoop Dogg and West Coast. What the fuck? Like, you have to love the musical foundations.
Yo, I want to I want to make sure we get to the point of selling CDs.
I want to hear
Word. I didn't want to forget that one. You know what I mean? Like,
especially just like in today's generation, you know what I mean, with like, you know, streaming and whatnot, like selling CDs, there was a science. There was a lot of like skills that we learned that I didn't understand them as skills until like years later. You know what I mean? That comes with that. You know what I mean? Like just like marketing, sales, like, you know, just even being able to talk to people, because the people who were buying our music generally were not even people who listen to hip hop. You know what I mean? That's the irony of it all.
They're supporting us.
Right.
They're supporting you as an individual.
Yeah. As an artist.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Or your message. They're like, yo, I don't know who this person is, but they're saying some truthful shit that I'll put my money to.
That's it. Yeah. I feel like it's mostly selling like almost like your personality in a way still. I bet all of us have different approaches, man, selling CDs. I've noticed that too. There's different approaches to it. So it's like, it's like any sales, you know, people have different approaches. Sell houses, people sell it in different ways, you know, and try to get to different heartstrings, you know what I mean? Or different natural human reactions, you know? Yeah. So it's like what we were doing is, I remember I was with Moses. Both of us had no home to stay in. And I was on the street watching Mindbender sell CDs.
What?
Okay.
So I asked you, I was sitting there. I feel like it was on Queen Street still.
Probably Queen Street, man.
Probably Queen. Yeah, that's why in my brain I was like, probably Queen.
No, Bloor Street. That's why I could see it. Like, I have visual memories.
Bloor.
Okay.
It was on Bloor Street. It might have been near Kinko's there.
Okay. Yes, I did cut CD covers at Kinko sometimes. Yes.
You told me to go there. I cut CD covers all the time because of you.
That's real.
Yo, I was just like, you drop a CD towards me. You're walking down the street. I'm like, yo, what up? And you show me one of your CDs again, you know? I'm just like, yo, bro, how do you do this? Like, I remember it was almost basically verbatim like that. How do you do it?
Chills. Like, you're piecing it back. Okay, go on, because I'm.
Bro, you're just like, hey, yo, I get the music. I remember you looked at me, you paused, and then you're like, yo, you just go into the internet cafe. Yeah, there was internet cafes, people, and you go across the street, and then you point like, yo, it was there, because I remember you pointing. So you're like, yo, internet cafe, and then you burn it. You burn a bunch of copies. You buy CDs, go to the internet cafe, and then you go there and you make your covers. You know, you make your covers and you print them at Kinko's, and you cut them out. Boom, boom, boom. That's all we did. After that, I was like, yo, bro. The first thing I did was buy a spindle of CDs, cases, had change, and I went and did it. And the first cover, The House That No One Built, was basically cutouts. I didn't even go to the computer and use it, bro. It's actually mad funny. Yo, it was, and I wish I could say I was trying to be creative, but I wasn't. I was just doing some weird old school shit. I was cutting out images from magazines, pasting them on a piece of paper that fit a CD cover, photocopied that, and that was the album cover.
Yo, can't knock the hustle.
And I spelled no one wrong. I spelled no one as Noone, Noone. And I'm forgetting everyone's name blocks, bro. I said this, yo, what's Ramos? Ramos got my CD, and he's like, bro, I like your CD, but what does Noone mean? I'll never forget that in my life. I was like, bro, it was a typo. I'm like, yo, I've been like selling CDs on the streets with a typo, but yo, particularly, dog, I learned that from you still. I can't lie.
Oh, that warms my heart so much, because I gotta say, I know you went farther with that skill than I did, because I did my thing and I sold stuff, but I never got to Europe selling my CDs. So I just gotta salute you, because your courage and your energy has taken you places, and you're like a legendary cat as far as just being yourself and just being self-motivated. There's not too many people. You're top 5 all-time Toronto history street hustler hip hop cat. Like, it's like probably you and Trey from Empire and like one other cat, and like that's it. But so so happy I could teach you something like that. That warms my heart. I think it was that night that I'm really seeing that memory on blur now.
It was at night.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was a powerful moment, because like I said, just bringing back those memories of going to the internet cafe. I forgot about those. Like, these are things we don't even think about now. But going to the internet cafe, buying the spindle of CDs, spending like an hour there just burning nonstop, you know what I mean? Just like burning CDs and then cutting it out, putting it in the jewel case, and then going out with your stack and then like selling that, and making money. Like, people will be spending, $5-10, sometimes even giving us $20 for a CD. And
just because.
Yeah,
sometimes you wouldn't get a CD. Yeah, like sometimes they would just respect the hustle and just feel our energy, our vibe, and be like, know what? You guys are about something. Here, just hold that. Like, save that CD for someone else. Make the next sale. You know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, like it really just, for me, like it taught me really about, again, like our personality and really projecting that out. And especially when you're coming from a place of like, like when you're sincere and you're being authentic, like there's nothing fake about us. You know what I mean? Like our literal like tagline. I remember, like, when we see people walking by, it'd be like, hey, do you listen to independent music? You know what I mean? That's what we said. We didn't say hip hop. Like,
music.
Word.
And they'd be like, well, yeah, of course. And then it's like, okay, and then we'll spin them a verse. Sometimes
spin them a verse.
Most of the times we wouldn't even let them. They wouldn't even hear the music because we never had a CD like player or anything. it was just off the strength.
Yeah, for real, man.
Supporting that. But before we continue, I just want to say, like, this hour is kind of wrapping up, and we're going to have to do a part 2 because I haven't even gone through the list of my questions. So we're going to do a part 2.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to, man.
Foundational start. But can you talk about, first of all, selling CDs, but then traveling? I remember you mentioned about going to like Greece and coming across like some dude, like, who like bought a CD in Toronto and whatnot. And like,
I didn't buy it, but yeah, so basically selling CDs on the street is one thing. And then it's like, I realized that's the way to survive. Then I did it around Canada a few times. I'm like, it worked with no money. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, all right, let's go to Europe. So I landed in Europe. We had one show booked. The show we got paid nothing for, though.
Hold on. A little slow down one sec. Who helped you organize getting to Europe?
I did it.
You?
Right.
Okay, you just had the strength, the money that you're just like, how much?
I was blacklisted, B. I was blacklisted from all the shit I was talking.
Okay.
Right? I was like, and maybe blacklist not the right term, but people weren't comfortable working with me. Man. And guess what? It's all good. I understand at those moments, because I was handling things like, again, mental health. We're gonna come on a part 2, but you know what I mean? I was wilding out, man.
No doubt.
So I'm like, I gotta go do my thing now, though, man, because I found a balance again. So when I found my balance, you can't expect people to give you chances because they don't see your transitions. And so I just said, fuck it, man. And I started going on using the power of the internet and booking a bunch of shows. I started going to different pages, for this city, for that city, for that city, and then boom, we got.
What was your first show and first city in Europe that
it was in Czech Republic.
Okay.
So it was in Czech Republic. It was at a festival. We didn't get paid anything for it, but we got a place to stay with unlimited vodka coming out of our thing.
Oh gosh.
I know, man. And but basically at the end, no, we were supposed to get paid to get us to the next city. So I went there with a 1-month ticket. After that, and I brought CDs. So I'm like, I'm just gonna sell CDs then and travel, get a Eurail pass, let people know who we are. From that show, we got booked on another show. Now I'm like, how do we get to the other show? We got some money coming from this festival. The festival, everything's shutting down. Yeah. Everything's getting taken down. There's no money in our pocket yet. Now we go to the promoter. We're like, sorry, brother, we're staying in your mom's house. And we stayed in him and his mom's house until we made enough money selling CDs on the streets to get to our show in Germany. Wow. And then from Germany, we met more people. and then another city, another more people. Bro, we just went to one place and it just took us everywhere. Every show we did got us another show. But we were loud. We were loud. We were on the street selling CDs before, after, and we were loud. We were finding where the radio stations are, going there, knocking on their door without a interview, without a schedule. You know what I mean? Going, finding out any record shop that's big, knocking on it, basically telling them, yo, we're coming through, we're doing a freestyle in front of it today. And then they show love, they're down.
That's
you know?
Hip hop, man.
That's so hip hop. That's just self-determination. That's Wu-Tang power, man. That's
Come on, man.
So my very last question before we like end off is like, I'm really big on taking pictures and video now, and I'm into photography, and I like we do a flyer at the end of the show just to talk about history. I love capturing history, and I got all the Mandem CDs that were hustlers on the street, all the independent Canadian CDs. I never threw out a single one. And probably a couple of the weakest whack ones, but I got 9 out of 10 of them. I got most of them. So I'm saying all that to say, like, capturing history is super important. And I heard that you were documenting and that you did some videography and stuff. So I want to just hear a bit about that. Like you directed a few like.
There's a lot to talk about, man, because there's a lot of things. We got our Ghana work with blockchain. We should do an episode just on the blockchain, even build with the community and give some free lessons away, blah, blah, blah. But I would love to do that, let them know what we're doing and how they can do it themselves. But when it comes to the
like documentary kind of video,
I would say like, we have a bunch of things because everywhere we travel, we videotape. But I went to India in 2013 and I have like footage of the Indian hip hop scene before it blew up.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, it's all there. It's ready. The documentary is ready, but I'm tired of art being put out there that nobody sees. I know they'll see it eventually, but there's a lot of energy we're putting into this stuff. And I don't want to put it out there. Like I'll put it on my will. If I die, it can just be released for free. But until then, I want to make sure it has a way it can be released so it's going to actually be seen by people, man. It's like, honestly, brother, both of you brothers, I feel like, I'm a one-man team right here with me and my wifey, bro. This is what we do, guerrilla music. And it's like, at the end of the day, we have each other. You're supporting us. But anyone out there that can help us get our shit out there, we're game, bro. And when it comes to the documentary, I would love to even start there. Because to me, that's a branch off of Stolen from Asia. Like SFA, remember those conversations we used to have?
Absolutely.
And it was like, I went and found my own history. Like after we build and like SFA, like everything we've done together, brother, it's like co-founding, whatever, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Because when I left the movement, it was a time for me to leave. It was a time for you to keep building what you've built, and what you built is beautiful, and I'll support that forever. And it helped me build what I'm building. And what I'm building is supporting you. What you're building is supporting me, because it's the same thing, man.
Absolutely,
let's go, But we understand. We understand the roots of it all, though.
That's it, man. And I think that's a great way to end chapter 1, because like I said, chapter 2, part 2 of the interview, we're going to go into, like mute screens, and then, the evolution of Stolen from Africa. And then, talk about, some of the things that you've been doing afterwards. And then,
definitely,
you being out in BC, because you're not even in Toronto no more.
Yeah, exactly.
You're out going camping, chilling in the wilderness. Like, man, what happened to the concrete buildings and Face Capital, man? This guy's all zen. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into like all of the evolution of like where we're coming from. But this was a great foundation. So to give context to like a lot of things, you know what I mean? So,
if I may say something before the hour ends, I'm watching the clock.
Yeah, say it. No, we don't have to cut exactly it. So, say it.
I just want you guys to know about one thing until then, that we're working on one of a series. It's the first of a series of fundraisers where we're starting in Accra, Ghana. Next is Mumbai, and then next is Athens, Greece, and then we don't know where next is. But we're starting where we're empowering artists, 10 artists that will get 10 computers, 10 Apple pens for art, a mic if they need that instead of a pen, and things like that, and then free blockchain lessons from Guerrilla Music so they can get their NFTs created, and they can have the reason, or plus a 1-year internet card for 10 of those artists for their entire household of unlimited internet. And we have a community of people that we're working with. We ask them permission if they want this in their community, if that's something they feel is a need or a want. And we have a bunch of artists who are actually down for the cause, and that's what they want. So big up to B-Boy Lyrics out in Accra, Ghana. And if you want to support our fundraiser, we have Panvala, who's going to multiply our fundraiser by 7. And right now, we don't have much raised. We have about, I don't know, maybe around 2,000 raised. Our goal is, what's our goal? 18,000? Our goal is 18,000. And that's 10 people. And it's really not that much, man. So if you guys can support the cause, please do. Everyone who supports it will get a free NFT, and we'll talk about that in the future, man.
Yes, we will.
And I hope for SFA to get involved with this shit even more heavily and run with it. You know what I mean?
No, man. This is the beginning, man, of reconnecting. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of growth, a lot of maturity, and then, like I said, like part 2, we're gonna dive into some things, man. So I'm excited. Again, thank you for coming through. Thank you so much, man. I know the people are excited, man. I'm seeing all the comments in the chats. Even when I made the post, it's like such a throwback, man. Like, people are happy to see us in communication again and whatnot.
Yo, I love you guys, bro. Honestly, brother, I love you guys.
It's hip hop. It's for life, yo. That's pure. Ain't a damn thing changed. We all on the same journey, man. It don't matter where we all in the world or what time it is. It's just we all been headed in the same direction, just trying to get the same freedom and truth. So it's just love, man. It's just love. Good to see you alive and happy, brother. It's just really good to see you. Absolutely. So when you want, late September, October, when it feels comfortable, November, but before the end of the year, whatever's good for you,
tell me the date. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. I loved this conversation. Yes. And it was really good for me because it brought up a lot of visuals that I forgot.
Yeah.
And you're a really good storyteller. We appreciate that. There are people who really remember the real history because, it doesn't even matter too much about paying for it. It's like, motherfucker, we need to document this shit because Toronto got the world. Us three are literal fucking human elemental people that were there before the world history everyone's looking at now. Yeah, we were there. So our stories, your stories are the fucking purest truth. So thank you we're going to do part 2, but thank you for part 1.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. So we're going to sign off like that, man. Join us every week, man. Tuesdays, man. Reminisce Show, carrying the traditions of St. Kofa. Sometimes we got to go back to collect what we may have forgotten, man. So big up King Mizzo, man.
King Mizzo.
Yo, man, we're going to continue this, man. All right, yo. Peace, yo.
Thanks to all our listeners.